Before the world sees your wins, your soul has to feel your work. It's the reps nobody applauds that produce the wins that do, all through a shifting of your identity into a dominator. This is all done in the dark every single day. So let me be your guide as I welcome you to this episode of the Dark Work Daily. All right, time to get out of the safe space a little bit today. And what I mean by this is there's a part of you that says, I want this next thing, but then when you're confronted with the actual work to do, you shut down. You find excuses, you go around it, you find ways to get busy doing something else to convince your active mind that that part of you has to wait and be prepared to get to it when the truth is you need to get to it right now. So we talked yesterday briefly about the 10 areas of life: faith, family, health, friends, and emotional control, career, education, finance, escape, and purpose. These 10 areas are what matters most. And I'm going to tell you right now, whatever area of those 10 makes you uncomfortable to push into, to think about, that's where the biggest transformation is waiting for your life. Maybe you're thinking in your head like, if I just take care of this, that'll take care of itself. No, it won't. If you're telling me that if I just have enough time because I make enough money, I could then focus on my health. Nope, not going to happen. If I just take care of my health and focus on the money, my marriage will get better. Nope, won't happen. You must give the thing and the time you want to work on. And I've noticed this in my own life that I had this sense of trying to convince myself that the thing I wanted to work on, like there'll be a time to work on it. You do it now. And the reason you do it now is because that area, if you're looking at, that's one I got to work on, but it's difficult and scary. If you work on that, it streamlines the rest of the stuff. See, submitters will avoid this. They submit to the difficulty, submit to the hardship, submit to the scary thing. Whereas dominators, they walk straight into it because it's just like the buffaloes. Like the buffaloes will run into the storm, so the storm passes. Cows run away from the storm, and it just follows them everywhere. The submitter is the cow. The dominator is the buffalo running straight into it. Because truthfully for us, I look at the idea of like, I want to be able to pinpoint where I need work and work on it. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's not supposed to be. But I know for me, when I finally did that, like my life opened up. I had to really at one point in time own the fact that when I am not in a solid relationship, this is me personally, when I'm not in a locked in solid relationship, my focus is trying to have that and detracts from everything else. I am vastly more free, productive, efficient when I'm in a loving relationship. The single thing didn't work for me. When I was in a position of going business-wise, I wanted to, focus on a couple nuances, but figured if I just take care of other stuff, the business, it'll eventually be good. No, it won't. I had to work on that. And it's to this day is hard. Every day of it's difficult. And I'm actively now trying to find out, how do I elevate myself? I heard one person, it was Layla Hormozi said, you cannot build a $10 million business with a $1 million identity. Take that and apply it to any part of your life. You can't build an amazing marriage with a single identity. You can't build a $500,000 business with a $10,000 identity. You have to elevate yourself to do the things required to get the thing you want most. And the thing that you avoid is the area where you're lacking the most. And it's actually probably the anchor to every other thing in your life. If, for example, your emotional control is strained, then even when you're building the business, work on your marriage, being a good parent, taking care of your finances, the moment something comes along and affects your emotions, it pulls everything down. It's an anchor on a rope that's tugging everything down. That means you have to learn how to handle yourself in hard situations, how to not freak out, how to not let something take control of you. I love this language that a person is only as big as the smallest thing that can take you out of your zone. Think about that. You're only as big as the smallest thing that pulls you out of there. So if everything in your life's a 10, but you're sitting at a 1 in your friendships, the moment you need somebody, you don't have anybody there, your friend pokes at you, or you lose a friend, everything comes tumbling down. The same thing, if your finances, you can be great in your education, you can be great in your career, but if your money's not right, the moment that goes down, I got to focus on that. That pulls everything. Marriages are strained. You can't focus on buying good food for your health. Your emotional control's out the window. You can't be able to have a good career because you're focused on trying to make money. It's all stressed out. You can't live in your purpose. You can't take trips and escape. You can't do much because of one thing. So why are you avoiding the one thing? Now, I don't know what it is, but you know what this thing is when I talk about it, because it's going to give you pause. Your heart's going to be a little difficult, like it's going to have like a palpitation at the thought of it, and it might scare you. But I'm telling you right now, that's the key to it all. When I have found a lot of people I've worked with and I've unpacked their lives, because most folks will go, I'm succeeding here, but I can't get my traction in this area of my life. And I sit with them and I unpack it all. My job is to be the asshole somebody needs sometimes. So what I'll do is sit on the phone and listen to them, and I'll go, okay, cool, here's what I see. And you lay it out straight. Do they love to hear it? Nobody loves to hear it. Most of the time, people will try to fight you on it. They'll try to convince you that you're not right, that you're crazy about this thing. But then if you really let them just pause and stop and go, okay, great. Do you want to have the excuse or do you want to have the achievement? Because I can't give you both. And they pause and breathe and I go, great, let's take a look at what we need to do because that excuse ain't going to help you. Let's be honest about it. And I can unpack it. And I'm telling you, that's the one that makes your stomach turn. To have to work on something that is not, they don't want to work on. They want to work on another fun thing. Well, guess what? That fun thing you want to work on, it's not going to get better until this gets better. And if you can step into this part of your life and embrace and accept this reality, then the life you want, it's achievable. It's possible. But the longer you hold on to this limitation and try to excuse this situation or make it not a big deal, you get to stay there. Gay Hendricks, I read in a book one time, says, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. If you fight for that thing, protect that thing, justify, validate, whatever you do, that thing stays there and your life stays where it's at. So it's up to you. Whatever you choose to do moving forwards, you now know something that you cannot unknow. So at this point, it's up to you to change it or keep complaining. But at this point, you got to realize it's on you because the area you're avoiding the most is the one you need to work on most. If this episode stirred something in you, good. That means there's work to be done. Don't ignore it because listening is just the beginning. Because real change happens when you engage and you commit. So I invite you to join the Dark Work community inside the Dark Work app, which is where you communicate with amazing people on the same journey as you. You can find them on the App Store and the Google Play Store right now. Step into the conversations that sharpen your habits, strengthen your identity, and keep you locked in to the Dark Work.